Hello, I'm George Romero, and you're watching the Abernathy Project.
Put him in a body bag, Johnny! Put him in a fucking body bag!
And we're moving from arguably the most lovable zombie of them all to, I guess these guys are pretty lovable in their own right, as they were more sympathetic and cute than terrifying and threatening. So here we have in front of us today is Soda Toys Land of the Dead action figure assortment. I figured I'd give a little bit of information on this particular set before I get into the individual reviews. Of course, Soda Toys was known for their Now Playing series, Chronicle of Riddick, their Street Fighter line, and around the time of Land of the Dead's release, they had acquired the rights to do figures based on the George Romero film. Now, what ended up happening was that the line was delayed quite a few times, and originally was supposed to feature an action figure donning the likeness of actor John Leguizamo. So the Land of the Dead line sort of sat on the back burner and pretty much sat there for longer than a lot of us fans would like to have had sat there for. They eventually came out, and some fans of Soda's products were kind of upset that the quality wasn't as great. By no means are these bad action figures, as you can see right here looking. They're wonderful for all of us zombie fans out there. They're wonderful pieces. But if you look at some of Soda's other stuff that they've put out prior to this, it left a lot of fans wondering, you know, what was going on with the quality. But other than that, I thought that they were well worth the wait. They didn't come with as many accessories and the bases that we originally thought we were going to get, but they did come with something pretty nifty, and I'll get into that later on in the rest of the reviews. And I figured I'd start off with Big Daddy's second in command, the Butcher. The sculpt is solid. Once again, as far as zombie figures go, there really isn't much I can say about the figure sculpting wise. It is a nice piece, although I must comment on how obscenely wrinkled the back portion of this figure is. As you can see, quite a bit of wrinkles in the pants. I can't even imagine wrinkling a pair of trousers this badly, but apparently that's what happens when you're both a butcher and a zombie. Poor guy. We need to get him some Febreze or something, because wrinkles are real bad. But other than that, very basic. I think that the face is where it shines sculpting wise. I can provide you with a screenshot so you can check out the accuracy. The shirt seems a bit bland, a bit pale, but there's still some detailing in there. They're a solid black with a bit of wash in there to give it like a charcoal look. As you can see, there's some blood seepage, which is represented by using a crimson glossy paint. The apron is wonderfully painted from the very bottom, where you can see some dirt and some grime and some blood shaded in, moving all the way up to the top where it gets heavier with the paint application. I do have one complaint, however. If you look closely, the buttons on the apron are painted on, and not done very well at that. There's some crimson inside of all the marks and the torn away pieces of flesh. And the paint job on the cleaver, very well done. Those of you who have stuck around with us for a while and have seen our Freddy reviews, I always commented on how the blood just looked like red paint smeared on the glove. But with this particular baby right here, you can see the layering. The paint on the neck, though, is kind of smudged. It doesn't look as good to me. It kind of looks like the neck, if you're viewing this through a camera, is out of focus. Once again, the face is where it's at in terms of detailing. More of the glossy paint is present within the lacerations and markings in the face. They have the parting of the teeth, which happens once they start to decay. They're very small, they're very shrunken. Everything else is serviceable to great. The apron's great, the cleaver is great. The shirt, not so much. The pants are okay, but all leading up to this face, and this is what's going to get you to invest the $14, $15, or however much money you'd have to pay to get this fella off of eBay. Head is on a ball joint. Shoulders are ball hinged. They go around like that, come down like that, swivel at the wrist, and surprisingly, that is all the articulation you're going to get with this guy. Now, originally these figures were supposed to come with bases. That idea was scrapped after the long delay. Instead of bases, they came with parts to a victim. And as you can see right there, he comes with an arm, and he comes with a leg. And he also comes with his cleaver. If you're a big zombie fan, and you're a big fan of movie-related figures, and you're a big fan of highly detailed figures, then there isn't any reason why you shouldn't pick this guy up. I wouldn't say pick him up on his own, but I would say if you're going to pick him up as part of a set. Not only am I reviewing a zombie action figure, but I'm reviewing a zombie action figure that has ties to many of George Romero's zombie films, and ties to my personal favorite of his series, Dawn of the Dead. Here we have Blade, which is patterned after the actor Tom Savini's character. The sculpt itself is pretty nice. Yeah, as you can see, it's suffering from the same wrinkle problem that the Butcher is suffering from. I guess Tom Savini, if you've been wearing the same pair of trousers since 1979, you're going to have some problems in the wrinkle department. But overall, from the waist down, it's just okay sculpting wise. There isn't anything really mind-blowing about the sculpt. It's more so in the paint department. But yeah, standard pair of denim jeans. Sure, it's not much to talk about. The jacket itself is probably where a huge bulk of the sculpting comes into play. As you can see, there's sort of like a scaly snake-like pattern throughout the leather, so that's kind of cool. Not so much in the arms, but really in the torso area you can see the amount of detail and work that went into it. Face is pretty nice too. I mean, that looks like the rotting head of Mr. Tom Savini. There's really no complaints. As you can see all the lines and wrinkles that are etched into the cheeks, because this is a body that has been rotting since 1979. I mean, if he made it all the way to 2005, it's kind of strange that he wouldn't be dead by now or completely decomposed by now, but that's a minor detail. Again, they went with the glossy paint finish to simulate fresh blood that would be protruding from some part of the body. This one has a little bit more substance going on in it than the Butcher, which was just a flat red. You can see there's some bits and pieces mixed in with the plasma. The pants, they're pretty blue, they're standard. It's supposed to be denim jeans, but you don't really get enough wash in here to simulate a denim look. In terms of the paint job trying to make this look like a pair of denim pants, I don't think it's done particularly well, but not done terribly either. And wrinkles for days. Shirt's a flat black. I mean, what can you say? There's nothing really to say about it. There's nothing in there. There's no wash. There's nothing. It's just painted black. Jacket's the same deal. It's a black jacket. There is some brown mixed in with the wrinkles to give it a very worn look, like this person's been in a tussle or two. So that's kind of cool. There's some of that glossy paint finish mixed in with the finger, just like the Butcher. The neck is sort of like this blurry paint job, as if the neck was completely out of focus. There's some grays and some blues and some blacks mixed in there, and some reds and some browns. So the paint job on the face is pretty nice, and you could see Tom Savini's signature handlebar mustache going there.